if you're a guy and your ego is tied to you can't get over it. If you're a guy though and your ego ain't tied to, or a woman and your ego ain't tied to possession, so it's the person and what it's tied to. But there are a lot of people who have stayed, like B said, but they weren't happy. They were miserable, but they stayed because of the kids. They stayed because of the public perception.
How are you doing, ladies and gentlemen? Happy New Year. Now, there's this channel that every now and then I watch. This is a channel by this gentleman called Fatty. So he's been around, he does a lot of these debates. On this particular debate, he had on Tommy Sotomayor, who's kind of like a resident good guy, bad guy. But I do like the way he expresses himself a lot when he's talking about serious things. He also has a lot of nonsense that I don't particularly appreciate, and there's a lot of, lack of impulse control that I don't appreciate. But that does not negate from the fact that he does make a lot of good points. He's very smart, he's very articulate, and I think I've done a video before of him. Yeah, he knows what he's talking about and he says it well. And that's why I like listening to him, because you can't like everything somebody does, but you can pick from what he does the great things and you can share with people. Now, on this particular podcast, on this particular episode, he was rightfully saying, because there's always been this propaganda that women actually love harder than men, like in terms of they are more committed. The fact is, we know that we invest a lot in women, so men naturally would be more loyal because we have a lot invested. Women can change at any time and jump on the next train and move on as you're left there. So let's listen in to this bit of this podcast. Should I call it a podcast or a debate? And of course, subscribe to the channel as we continue.
First off, both of y'all are right, and it's crazy how both of y'all.
And by the way,
right.
that hat is crazy, Tommy. Stop stealing my swag.
Player hat, ain't it? You know it is. Player hat. But both of y'all are right, which is crazy in this situation. She's right because there are plenty of people who've survived cheating on the woman's part. It's just men don't come out and say it because nobody's going to feel bad for you. Because as soon as you come out and say, my girl cheated on me, but I stayed, everybody going to make fun of you. Everybody makes fun of the guy who stayed with the girl who cheats.
Yes.
Everybody lionizes the woman who stayed with the man who cheats. She's a good woman. She stayed because in spite of. But
Beyonce and Will Smith.
Yeah, like perfect example. And so when you said he's a fool, technically you're right too, because a person who cheats doesn't cheat once. And that girl didn't come to you, because if she came to you and said, if you love a man, here's what I know you'd do. Say you stepped out. You'd regret it as soon as you did it. As soon as you got back home with that man. As soon as you sat on the couch with that man. As soon as you sat around your children with that man. As soon as you watched Game of Thrones and you saw another on Game of Thrones, you'd be thinking, I did that.
That's crazy.
Now, this is the thing. Personally, I'm like zero tolerance. And if they say that if you love that man but you stepped out, a lot of people don't know that that's an actuality because of the fragility. Because at that particular moment where this guy who showed up in front of her, who in many aspects is better than you, maybe looks better than you, maybe taller than you, maybe richer, maybe smells even better. And she decides, I'm going to test this right now. You'd probably never know. Most guys, by the way, never know. And the number of quickies I've had, and with people later, you find out that they are with other people. It tells me without a shadow of a doubt that this this is a very widespread thing. Anyway, don't be discouraged.
You feel bad. But like Fatty said, they don't. They don't feel bad until they get caught.
Yes.
So a person who doesn't feel bad until they got caught, they did it more than once. And the more they did it, the more comfortable they felt doing it. Just like a killer. The first kill, that's the most nervous a killer is. Every time they kill after that, they get real comfortable. Yeah.
I cheated one time, and I've never cheated again, and I would never again because I felt guilty. And because I felt guilty, I wasn't found out, but I told them what I did.
But if you think about it, if it takes for guilt, I guess it's like a defense mechanism. If you guilt, then you go and confess. Do you think, because this is a question I have, do you think if somebody confesses because they are guilty, not because they think they did something wrong, or does the guilt necessarily mean that they know they did something wrong? I think not. I think that they're just trying to make themselves feel better. And I think if there was no restraint, she wouldn't feel guilty. If she didn't think that, one of these people do open relationships, whatever those are, the retards who do that. Anyway, the people who do that, there's no guilt because the excuse has been found to satiate the heart. Yeah? Am I making any sense? Anyway, tell me down below.
Because it was eating my conscience.
It's hard.
I felt terrible. Like you said, you go around that person.
You see, it's not about the other person. It's about how she felt and the cost what it was costing her peace of mind and whatnot. It's not about the other person, that she betrayed the other person. It's about her.
You're sitting there with them and you feel bad. Like it's not something that I wanted to. I didn't want to hurt that person, but I had to come clean and tell them what I had done for them and for me. Like,
would you forgive him if like a future husband? Would you forgive him if he cheated on you?
Yeah.
What about you?
I think she's just saying it because I think the guy forgave her, so she didn't want to be a hypocrite. But I don't believe her. Maybe, but generally speaking, well, women do stay, especially when they're with the guy. If he cheats, they do stay. Like, they go back all the time. Like, it's far less common in men, although it happens also. But women go back. You know them. You've seen them go back to the losers that they had children with. It fails again, and they go back, and it's ridiculous.
Deb,
No, I left.
what if your future husband, right? This is your dream guy. You are a little bit older, a little bit more wiser. Like if he cheated on you, you out.
I left my baby daddy. I'll leave anyone. Yeah.
Ooh, what about you, Wisdom?
Nope.
Cheating deal breaker?
Deal breaker.
Deb,
but like I said, I know people. In fact, I'll be honest and say, in my parents' marriage, there was infidelity. They're still together to this day, and so I have an example of.
She's layering now. Excuse me. No, I know other people who cheated who are still together. But a lot of these relationships are not happy. Maybe most guys stay because the kids, they don't want to rock the boat. Maybe they've invested too much money. You go on the house, you lose the house. I mean, there's a lot more reasons. But you see, this person is already layering excuses on her behavior. So she's not repentant. This is what I was telling you. They are never repentant. And the idiot who stayed with her after she cheated, or just because she came through, no, that was just for her. For her to feel good about herself, it has nothing to do with you.
People who were able to work through things and because they loved each other enough, they forgave each other and stayed together. And they're happily married still. Like my dad, he treats my mom really well. He did have that transgression. My mom treats my father very well and is super submissive to him. And she also cheated on him. So I think that people's experiences and things that they have seen happen plays.
Yeah, she revenged. There's no free lunch here, guys. And I don't know what to tell you. Because a lot of these people, you listen to the language, oh, it was eating me inside. Oh, yes, she said she'd forgive him, but she'll cheat too. That's how you get forgiven. So there's no free lunch, as I was saying. These people would say they would forgive or what, but they will always revenge first. They'll never forgive you. And I think even if they revenge, they might feel some kind of better, but still you won't be forgiven. Every time you do something, it will come up. You people know, you people who've cheated, especially, you do know this, don't you?
The big part in how they respond to those things happening to them.
Go ahead, Tommy, and then OG.
Yeah, to me, this is the easy part of it. If you're a guy and your ego is tied to, you can't get over it. If you're a guy though and your ego ain't tied to, or a woman and your ego ain't tied to possession, so it's the person and what it's tied to. But there are a lot of people who have stayed, like B said, but they weren't happy. They were miserable, but they stayed because of the kids. They stayed because of the public perception. I don't want people to know. So there are people who you thought, well, they stayed together and it worked out. No, they stayed together miserably, but they stayed together. So I think that might be what Fatty's getting at. Even the people who stayed at, like that man no longer feels like a man. Because when a woman cheats on a man, it's a direct reflection of how she feels about him.
So but OG, that's literally the topic of the show today, right? Hugh Hefner was a virgin. He got engaged with a woman. He went to the military. She cheated on him with another dude, and they still got married. But he's saying that he thinks that the Playboy, like the him creating Playboy, was because of that situation. It was the I am so pure, I don't deserve this, so I'm going to go all the way to the other side of the road because, hey man, I'm not going to go through that shit again. It is what it is. You break my heart, now I'm not willing to be on the street, try to actually fall in love with people back again and all. And he tried. But I guarantee you that all of his marriages that he had, and you know, he married a Playboy.
And you see, the thing is, that's the smart thing to do. You're just mitigating risk. I mean, he all did all the. I believe a lot of those little marriages he had were really for the media empire, for the stories and what were they calling? They were the first line of reality shows in quotes. They are not really reality because most of them are scripted. Yeah, but that was, I believe, that was primarily why.
Like Playmates and all that, it were not as genuine, or it's not like the this is my woman, I love her, she's just mine. It was more of a, hey man, I have so much money.
Fatty, I've been a dog since the first time I got cheated on. I think men love harder than women. I was young, but ever since then I kept saying, if this girl who I gave everything to did this, I'd be a fool to be faithful to anybody. And I think a lot of men run into that problem. Like, when we get cheated on after being faithful to you, it looks way worse on us than when you do it. And we know how that's going to look publicly. So what I look like just having one person putting all my eggs in this basket, and then you make a fool out of me. And all I was doing was being a great husband. Nah, at least if you step out, at least I know I was skeeting in faces.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. Cheating is not just about the act itself. It shows other things. For example, as Tommy here was saying, it shows that you're not the guy. There's somebody else who does it more than her. And if you're in that position, you're in a dangerous position. So she's willing to expose you to these other random people. Somebody you might get jealous, come for you. She's willing to do that just for that high that she will receive. She's willing to do that. So a lot of people, a lot of men, they jump into these things, they invest their all, and then when it's like as if they're blinded. You hear when people say they're looking at these women through rose-colored eyes. I just believe they're just infatuated, because it's infatuation that prioritizes the biological urge over logic, and especially men who've been trained to look at dangerous situations and run from them instead of indulging. So what happens that if she's having sex out there, first of all, you're not the guy. Secondly, she doesn't really care that much. Thirdly, she has little to no impulse control. So you cannot really plan long-term things with her, because you'll plan things, then she'll have an impulse, and then she'll bring everything down. How many people have married women, invested for years, 401ks, I don't know, retirements, insurance, real estate, name it. After they are done, Then one day she says, I'm not happy. So you have to cut everything in half. Now it becomes a war. Lawyers take your money, the state takes your money. So everything you're investing is dismantled. Like, the investment makes absolutely no sense. Because the reason actually why men tend to love harder is for this reason. You invest more. Yes, it's that simple. There's no real dramatic reason why we invest more. And you're afraid you're going to lose because these investments take years. And there are all human beings, children involved. So you understand the risk. But a woman would change. If you got broke, she'll just move on. She will morph into whichever person she needs to be to get the next guy to pay the bills. You have to stay put and solve the problems. Unless you're one of the 1 in a million gigolos who get women to do that for them. I don't know what you guys thought about this video. I thought this was really interesting. You can go to Fatty and, just subscribe to Fatty. So I'm going to leave the channel link down below too. And I don't know, I think Tommy Sotomayor is on Rumble. So I might find his channel over there and put a link down below. But I think he's also a bit of hot potato, if you like, on YouTube. So I'm not sure. I'll see. So because I don't know, a lot of the times the algorithm has certain people on red. So if they're out there, there's some who break that algorithm. I don't know if he's managed to do that, because I see a lot of his clips, they're really good. They go viral on TikTok everywhere, but except YouTube, there seem to be some restraint. I don't know. I care that I hear what everybody has to say. And I think I think they banned his channel. So there's a lot of these things going on. But I don't know what you guys thought about the video. Leave a comment down below. Like the video, share the video, and of course subscribe to the channel. And until next time, Happy New Year.